Hey, this is Derek from Ideal Body, and this video is all about 3 ways to burn fat fast. So let's get started. All right, so once we cover these 3 tricks on how to burn fat fast, you'll be able to do it easier, and it'll be a lot more simple than anything you've ever tried before. Because the truth is, if it's hard, if it's complicated, if it's difficult, it's nothing you're gonna stick to, right? So I'm making these as simple and as easy as possible so you can start burning fat faster and easier than ever before. So the first tip we're gonna go through is what I call a fat flush, or otherwise known as intermittent fasting. So what that is where you basically stop eating for a specific period of time. Now, the most popular one out there these days is what you call like a 16-8 fast. So basically you eat for 8 hours of the day and you fast for 16 hours. Now before you think, wow, who could go 16 hours without eating? The truth is you're basically just skipping breakfast. So what you do is you eat lunch, you eat dinner the day before, you go to bed, let's say you stop eating dinner at 8 p.m., you go to bed, you sleep throughout the night, and then you basically don't eat again until 16 hours later. So it basically comes about to eating at noon instead of eating breakfast in the morning. So the reason why this works so well is obviously you're eating less calories because you're skipping breakfast, but that's not really the main part of it, because most people screw this up by just eating a ton after, during lunch and dinner, and they snack all day, and they basically kill all the results that they would get from skipping breakfast. So it's not about just, cutting the calories and depriving yourself of eating breakfast, but what happens is your body, if you're a carb burner, basically runs on carbs. So it runs on carbs and sugar. That's what we've been taught for so many years, that you need to eat carbs for energy. Got to get, your body wants to run on the sugar and all that, which is completely not true. So if you are eating a lot of carbs, your body's running on carbs. But what happens is if you, eat dinner the night before, your body digests the food throughout the night as you sleep. When you wake up in the morning, it's basically gone through everything that you've eaten. So you don't have, all these carbs and sugars to use for energy. Instead, it starts using your stored body fat for energy instead, because it needs some type of fuel source. And if you don't have the carbs or the sugars in there, it's going to turn to fat instead. And what's crazy is your body actually prefers to run on fat, and your brain prefers to run on fat. That's why when people start cutting out the processed carbs and start eating more high-fat foods, they start, getting more their mental clarity improves, their brain fog disappears. They feel more energized, more focused when they go to work in the morning. That's the reason why, because your body and your brain would rather run on healthy dietary fat than all the carbs and all the sugars. So when you cut out the breakfast in the morning, you're basically burning more fat for fuel throughout the day. When you're, getting dressed, if you do a workout in the morning, you're running on your stored fat again, and you're stripping that away instead of relying on the carbs and the sugar for energy. So that's one of the main reasons you can do it. It's a little difficult to get started. I won't lie to you. I've done it a lot, but once you get through the first day or two of skipping breakfast, then your body kind of takes over. It becomes your new normal, and you're not getting all these cravings and hunger pangs or anything first thing in the morning. So it's definitely a great way to switch things up. I usually do it for a couple months, and then I kind of just play it by ear. If I'm hungry in the morning, I'm going to eat something. If I'm not hungry, I'm just going to go as long as I can until I have to eat again, usually around 10 or 11 o'clock, and you start with lunch instead of breakfast. So that's one thing you can do pretty easy. Doesn't take any extra time out of your day to start burning more fat fast. Number 2, if we're building on number 1, is then having a lean lunch. So if you decide to eat breakfast, or if you decide to do the intermittent fast and skip breakfast, one of the best things you can do either way is eat a lean lunch. And by a lean lunch, I don't mean like a salad with a bunch of chicken breasts on it, or something like low calorie, some type of diet food that most people talk about. What I'm talking about is eating healthier, higher fat foods to get you leaner. So I'm talking about eating, what I usually do, if I skip breakfast, I eat eggs for lunch. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but they taste good, and it's one of the best high-fat foods you can have, because eggs include every single amino acid that you need, all of them. So it's one of the best foods that you can eat, and I'm talking about the yolk and the egg, not just the egg white. So eating a higher-fat lunch will help get you leaner, because, you're going to turn your body from being a carb burner into a fat burner. So that's what you want to be. You can either be a carb burner, relying on the carbs, relying on the sugars to burn up all the fat, or you can rely on your stored body fat, which is a fat burner. So when you start eating this way, what I call energy eating, you basically turn your body, you reprogram it into being a fat burner, so then you're burning fat throughout the day instead of burning carbs, which is what we all really want, right? So getting a lean lunch in there, not cutting calories or anything like that, but getting healthier, high-fat foods that'll make you leaner, make you more fit, make you have less body fat, less belly fat, is the second best thing you can do to start burning belly fat fast. And the third one is what I call a bread fast. So if you haven't lost weight for a year, or 2 years, or 3 years, and you've been trying everything, nothing ever works, telling you to completely overhaul your diet is pretty much a waste of time, because it's not going to work. It's too big of an extreme. So if you've been, eating fast food and lots of pasta and lots of, burgers and fries and all that for the last decade, and I tell you to eat nothing but, chicken and lean protein and vegetables, you might do that for a day. You might do that for a couple days. You might even do it for a couple weeks if you're really motivated, but soon you're going to fall off the wagon. You're going to get bored with it. It's too much of a change. So what I like to do is implement something a little bit easier, which is just doing the bread fast, which is cutting out all breads And I start with it just 7 days. So cut them out for 7 days, commit to that, and once you do that, it'll be easier to cut them out more going forward. But the reason why you want to do that is, first of all breads are extremely processed. So there's very little nutritional value in bread. And even if it's whole wheat bread, even if it's like 7-grain bread, they have all these type of names. They name the bread to make them sound healthier and all natural, which is just a marketing way to get you to try to buy their bread. They're all basically the same. White bread and whole wheat bread is basically the same in your body. Your liver treats it the same way. So cutting out all those types of breads, which gets turned into sugar in your body, which gets built up as the excess belly fat, excess fat around your love handles, your thighs, your butt, cutting that out is one of the easiest things you can do. Now, it might not be easy to cut it out because you're addicted to it. If you've been eating bread your whole life, it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's easy in a sense that it doesn't take any extra time out of your day. It's not a workout that you have to go do at the gym. It's something that you can simply do and replace other foods with it. So when you start eating the lean lunches, you're less hungry throughout the day. You're not craving the carbs anymore because you reprogram your body to be a fat burner instead of a carb burner, and that way you start burning a lot of fat faster. So again, just do a 7-day, what I call a bread fast. Cut out the bread. Cut out the bagels, cut out the muffins, cut out any other type of bread-based food that there is, and just commit to 7 days. Something simple, something easy. And once you have that, it becomes more of a habit. You realize, oh, I actually don't really miss the bread. It was just, maybe you grew up and you see bread as comfort food. Maybe you always, had sandwiches at lunch, and it's kind of more of an emotional feeling to the bread than the actual taste of the food itself. And that's a topic for a whole nother video, but I'm just kind of getting through to your mind that it's not the bread that you're kind of craving, it's the feeling that you get from the bread. So cut that out for 7 days, commit to that. Start adding in the lean lunches. If you want to try the intermittent fasting, do that as well. It works wonders. Thousands of people have done it, and it works really well. I've done it. My wife's currently doing it now, actually. She doesn't even have the desire to eat breakfast anymore in the morning. It's just completely gone because her body is now running more on dietary fat, and she's going all the way till 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon without eating her first meal, and she's never been hungry. Like in the morning, she's not hungry anymore. She actually feels weird when she eats breakfast because her body's like not expecting it. So try those tips. Even if you just implement one, you can start burning belly fat faster than ever. If you enjoyed this video and want to get my new program, How to Triple Your Fat Burning Overnight, for free, just click the link in the description below. Let me know your best email, and I'll send it over to you 100% free. My way of saying thank you for watching this video. And if you like this video, click the like button below. And don't forget to comment below on anything you want me to cover in future videos. And don't forget to subscribe as well, because I got new videos coming out every single week to help you lose more weight.